So, finally, the rumors of like Caitlin Clark hating her teammates, Caitlin Clark's teammates hating her, can finally be put to bed. Oh my god. They can be finally put to bed. Before we get on things, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are 9, I repeat, 9 subscribers off getting to 19,000. It'll be absolutely incredible if we could do that by the end of the day, because we are trying to hit 20k by the time the WNBA season is finished. But anyway, this is it right now. It is Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston. And in the last couple of, well, not even last week, last like 10 days, we've seen her play pickleball. We've seen this from start of the month. Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark joking with Aliyah Boston joking about being one of the fans. Aliyah Boston talking about how they're going to be a great guard post duo. And the fact is that it is true. It is 100% true. And I do think, again, all of the issues, as I've said tons of times, I think all the issues that were like happening around this team was that nobody really was enjoying, the team wasn't playing well. Nobody was enjoying all the crap that comes along with playing for a Caitlin Clark team if you're losing. And look, it's what happens. And especially because there's now this new microscope on you. You can win 13 games in peace last year. You're not going to win 13 games in peace this year if you're the Fever. But now the Fever are starting to... Look, Christy Sides did not beat a team that were over 500 in a year and a half. They went 60 games without beating a team over 500. They've done it twice in their last 3 games now. They've beat the Liberty, and both games against the Liberty and the Mercury have been comebacks. And look, if you're ever part of a team with bad chemistry is not coming back in games. They're not fighting for each other. And that is one thing. But like if you're looking at things, you're seeing Erica Wheeler has a charity pickleball tournament. Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull, they were the only ones that I saw that were there. They're the only players that I saw were there. But there could have been more. So obviously, again, yeah, Caitlin Clark going out of her way to help one of her teammates in a charity tournament. And again, you can see when it comes to Erica Wheeler, like, look, I don't think Erica Wheeler, as I've said tons of times, I don't think Erica Wheeler is good on the court. I think she's terrible on the court. I think she's terrible for the team. I think she's terrible on the court for Caitlin Clark. But at the end of the day, off the court, from the very start, it's very clear that she took on that veteran leadership role as far as guards are concerned. And she is a former All-Star MVP. So that has been, like, I'd say that's been probably a big help to Caitlin herself. So, look, Erica Wheeler is very clearly is a big part of this team. And I would assume Christy Wallace brought her for a lot of the reasons of, like, team chemistry. And then you're obviously seeing the lifting session. I can't go and play any of the audio. But it is Aliyah Boston, who's obviously very quite active on TikTok, just going at a lifting session. And Caitlin Clark is there. She's the one that's there as the commentator anytime Aliyah Boston is lifting. And it's obviously just a fun video. Caitlin Clark is laughing and joking through this. And yeah, it just shows, obviously, that this is a team that is starting to... Well, they're starting to click. If you've known from the very start, and I've said in tons of videos that Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston are friends. Like, if you've seen any of those Team USA clips, like, those teams got on with each other. And look, when you're winning, it's very easy to get on with your teammates. When you're going out to a World Cup, and when you are winning, it's very easy. It is very easy to go to be friends with your teammates. It is what it is, and like, that is a team where they obviously still stay close. They were still really excited to play with each other. And they have become, as far as young duos in the WNBA, I think they're the best young duo. I genuinely think they are. Is Aliyah Boston the best young post player in the league? I think Essie McMcCourt is better. But after McMcCourt, probably. Is Caitlin Clark the best young guard in the league? What's her name is there as well. And to be fair, Angel Reese is in that conversation for the best young post player in the league. For best young guard in the league, Ryan Howard, Caitlin Clark, Sabrina, 27, so not really. Ryan Howard, Clark, the only two, I would say, really good young guards in the league. So you've got probably arguably the best young big and the best young guard in the league. And it's clear when you're looking at this team is just even the stuff off the court. that the team very much, you will never see a situation where the relationships have been as scrutinized as they have by every bit of the media. And look, everything that happens after every game, every word that this team says is going to be taken out of context. Something's going to be made on it. And the fact is that as much as it's not a great thing, but everything that any of these players say or do becomes news. Like Aliyah Boston posting a TikTok with Caitlin Clark lifting becomes news. If you don't realize, this isn't even the Aliyah Boston. This isn't even her page. This is Yahoo Sports about a lifting session TikTok. So that's kind of the thing when it comes to these players, is that they do have a sort of a draw. When you've got your Caitlin Clarks of the world, when you've got players of this magnitude, there's going to be that sort of a draw. And you're now seeing it. You're seeing it like when Angel Reese tweets out a picture of Marina Mabrey and Kennedy Carter, it becomes news being like, oh my God, maybe all the other teams were wrong about Kennedy Carter being toxic, when in reality, she's just playing for a really good coach for her. And Aliyah Boston in the Q&A asking stuff about Caitlin, like, seems to be happy. And look, it's easy to be happy when things are going well. It's hard to be happy, especially because if you were looking at the interviews of these players, a lot of the times where the negativity came from was immediately after a loss. They do also have a coach that does tend to throw the players under the bus after a loss. That is quite a big issue. But thankfully we're seeing, maybe the media, or they're trying to manipulate the media, maybe they do all hate each other. They probably don't. And I just think that it was probably a situation where you can tell by just the way the teammates are acting now compared to the way they were at the start of the year, that it probably was, I'm not going to say a toxic environment to be in, but it probably wasn't a fun environment to be in when this team sucked. Going 1-8 and every single negative thing that you did on the floor being scrutinized, every single negative thing you said, when liking tweets was still a thing, when being able to see likes was still a thing, and people were looking through everyone's liked tweets was still a thing, which was crazy. But you just never know. If like tweets, I can only imagine if likes were public when the Dejanay Carrington tweet came out, what absolute SH1T storm was going to happen after that. But yeah, it is. Look, it is what it is. It is what it is. And we can finally put to bed. Like, after obviously a couple of games when I realized from listening to Christy Sides that she wasn't out there to sabotage Caitlin Clark, but that she did just want Caitlin Clark to fit into her system. And then eventually she realized, okay, no, Caitlin is the system. Thankfully, she's realized that. And the teammates are not out to sabotage her. At the end of the day, the teammates are out for two things: to win and to get theirs so they get money. So it is what it is. Like, the more you learn about this team, the more you know Kelsey Mitchell is just going to be Kelsey Mitchell. Erica Wheeler just does not fit Caitlin Clark, but has been a great veteran leadership. And this team, look, as much as any sports team, they get on with each other. Like, they get on with each other as much as any sports team. Let's be real. Some sports teams are going to get along really well with each other. Some sports teams aren't. It is what it is. They get on as well as any sports team. Let's be real.